Hi everyone, welcome to the next vlog in the vlog series From Data to Value with Henrik. Today we are exploring one of the strategic or enterprise capabilities, human capital. What is data and AI ready human capital looking like, and what do you need to work on? So I urge you today, share this vlog with your HR business partner. Share it with the HR guys who needs to wake up to do their part to make your enterprise data AI ready. So to explore this topic of what is data and AI ready human capital all about, I want to explore it from a couple of different angles. So first, there is the fundamental angle of strategic discussion and operational discussion. And on the other side, we have the fundamental around thinking about human capital on an enterprise team level and an individual level. So let's start where it really starts and then dress this up until we have explored it in some dimensions. So first off, when we are talking about a human capital perspective, the first thing we need to realize is that we have now new roles and job descriptions in our company that should be just as clear as any other jobs that you have in your organization. I'm talking about a data scientist role, I'm talking about a data engineer role, data steward role, and what I will call a DAIR navigator. So I'm sure you have all your job description in HR for the business controller or for the normal IT developer or whatever. But you need to understand that these are different roles with different capabilities. A data scientist is not an IT guy. A data scientist is a mathematician, a statistician that can code. That's not the same as if you can build a database. A data engineer is working in high performance computing, not in the same way as a DBA does, but really working on ingesting data pipelines, architecture, how to do microservices out of algorithms to deploy them to production. The data steward is the role that is dealing with data as an asset in all its facets. And the DAIR navigator, that's the role that is helping you to take frameworks, how you want to work as an enterprise, and making sure that the use cases are learning or reusing what is happening, what has happened in another part of the organization. So it starts here. It starts with having a professionalism around these three new roles and understanding them in the same level of quality as the traditional roles in your organization. Now, when we move on now, still on the individual side, we have the fundamental topic around training and coaching. If you're going to go from a domain and you're going to create a new core domain, which is happening in the intersection between data and AI and your legacy, you need to train people to live in this new space. So you need to train your normal people that you have in data AI literacy to function with the new roles as their teammates. You need to train your leaders to be able to handle their leadership, data AI ready leadership. So there are other ideas now how we organize, how we look at process, all the stuff that we've been covering in the vlog. We need to be able to lead that. We need to recruit the right way. We need to organize them the right way. So you need to have an understanding for what this new core you're organizing for is all about. And then if you're working in an enterprise, you need to educate people on the guidelines, frameworks that you will use to drive this as an enterprise. So to go from one use case or many pilots and use cases into an enterprise approach is about having the right guidelines and frameworks that we can tap into to make sure whatever we do is scalable, can be reused. And of course, you need to train in the expert disciplines. So the data scientist, the data engineer, this is new types of training. It's not the normal IT training. We are talking about training in new types of technologies. We're talking about training in new ways of architectural things. So if you want to upskill and lift your game from within, this is a training dimension. I move on. The next dimension I want to talk about is on a more strategic level. So now we're moving really into the HR department, and is to think about the fundamentals around talent management, your career ladder, and your DAIR full-time equivalent balance. So talent management is about how do I find the talent in this area? How do I get them in? How do I think about that? Do I upskill? Do I recruit? Do I collaborate in different co-creation partnerships and different alliances? Or do I partner with different consultants? So how do I secure I have the right skills in there? Now, if I want to keep these new people these are defined as the sexiest job on earth in 2018 by Gartner, McKinsey, and all that. If you want to keep them, you need to think about how you keep this talent. Otherwise, you will train them and they will move on to move and work with the cool startup. So if you don't know how to treat these people well, if you don't know what they are makes them tick and how they can have a career as an expert, they have no intention of being a blue-collar, leader in a traditional setup where your power is measured by how many people you lead. They have different motivations. If you don't have talent management and a career ladder for this, they will leave you. And the last topic here is DAIR full-time equivalent balance. So it's about scaling smartly now. So understanding how many data scientists do I need in relation to data engineers, in relation to data stewards? How many navigators do I need in relation to the acceleration I want to have? Do you want this to take a long time? All your use cases will be done more sequentially. Do you want to scale fast? You need to have more teams. So this is hardcore strategically thinking about your resources. Now we move into the enterprise and team level. So here I want to talk about, there are some fundamental characteristics of your new organization that you need to secure that it's happening. So you need to have all up a data and AI literate operation organization, your whole organization. So everybody in relation to the job that is theirs, they need to have the relevant level of data literacy. From the CIO to the management teams, to the team leads, to the domain operation traditional experts you have, to the new experts you have. We need to be data AI literate to the relevant level, number one. Number one, we need to have a learning organization. We are going in for perpetual innovation and change now with the fast advancements in these technologies. So we need to have continuous learning as a key trait. And then, of course, if we want to scale as an enterprise and not as siloed pilots, we need to have a fundamental idea of sharing and innovation orientation. So sharing what has been done in the past and be curious to innovate with what my friends has done. Now, to move on this enterprise team level, on an operational level, you need to do this by design. So it's not going to happen if you have a legacy culture that it just one day appears as a new culture and as these new traits. If you don't have these fundamental traits today, you need to design them. And what I mean with that is that you need to create the forums. You need to have someone driving these forums. You need to invest in how we make sharing, learning, literacy into core things we are doing. It's just not fancy words on the wall. It's how do you design that to happen? Now, from an executive point of view and a strategic point of view, we are fundamentally shifting a culture to have these fundamental traits as part of our culture. And we all know how hard it is to shift the culture. If I go back all the way to the smallest team, I'll take the example of a football team. If I have a bad culture in that football team, how do I change it? How many players do you think Real Madrid need to change if they want to change culture? So how to change culture, and this is all about leadership. It's about standing strong for these and living these cultural values yourself as a manager, but it's also about taking very, very hard decisions with the people who are not ready to embrace this culture. They maybe fitted the old culture, but they're not willing to do the cultural change needed, and therefore they won't fit in the new culture. So, human capital, strategic, operational, enterprise, team, individual. These are fundamental things that you need to have people working on. You need to clean that up piece by piece. And of course, you use the systemic balance innovation approach to do it stepwise, to take one of those things at a time in each of your use cases. All right, that was human capital. Once again, please comment, engage, ask questions. I'm here to demystify. And then, until the next one, have a nice one.